Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to make a phone holster on a white water slide from beginning to end. I've watched a lot of videos and they just kind of skip things, so I'm just going to do my best to show you from beginning to end how I do it. I have one lonely little black holder left, so that's why I'm printing on white, because clear water slide does not really work well with that. The supplies I have are this little handy dandy 1.5 inch hole punch, UV light. I use this with my nails and I just already kind of had one, and white water slide and this UV resin that I got on Amazon. I also want to include how I got that image. I just went to Google watercolor owls. I found the image that I liked, and when I highlight over it, it has a number. That number is pretty significant. Anything over 500 will give you a good quality image. Anything less than that, it's really not worth even downloading. So what I did is I right click on it, save image as. This window will pop up. You can name it anything you want. Eventually. So then I name it download parentheses 1. Okay, saved it. Then I go into design space. Somewhere in here, download 1. And then I like the image because if I click simple, it really distorts that image completely. So I like the complex. Push continue, and then remove that background. Make sure you have your select and erase, and just click on the white, and it should be pretty good after that. Obviously the white's going to show up, but it just makes it a little bit easier when you're working with that circle later. Push continue, save as print, then cut image, and push save. So what you do is you find your images. I don't really need a lot today because I only have one, so I'm just going to kind of show you what two of them look like. And you're going to want these to be 1.5 inches. So what I do is I start with a circle, and because I'm in the middle, I have a project that I'd like to make. I'm making that along with this because I'm already doing it. So 1.5 inch circle is what you'll need. Enter. And you're going to want to make sure to send that to back, because what you'll want to do is size your image to fit on it. Sometimes they're taller than they are wide, so just kind of make sure. Sometimes you don't care if a little bit of it comes off of the edge, which I really don't care a whole lot about. So what I do is just do that, and I think that looks pretty good. I'd like to change the color of the circle just so I can kind of get a good idea of if it fits all the way around it and if I like where it lands. So make it a little bit bigger just so you can see it real good. So that one's good, and now we'll come over here and do this deer head. And as you know, the antlers are really wide, so they'll have to take up a lot of that space, and I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. As you can see, the measurements on this deer head are less than 1.5. I've learned the hard way, used a lot of water slide, determining that not only always do you want your image to be 1.5. So that's why I've come up with this circle thing, just so that you can kind of really get a good idea of what fits in that diameter. So that's what I want to make. I'm going to delete the circle because I no longer need that. You want to make sure that this is a print and cut, and right now this is showing a cut. So you go up to fill and put print, and now this will be a cut and print, or print and cut rather. So then I'll go make it and make sure it's lined up where I want it. This looks pretty good, except for because we're going to be using this diameter thing, you want to spread these out just a little bit. These are also going to be 1.5. Obviously these can get a little bit closer because those are exactly 1.5. And you just want to make sure you leave yourself a little bit of room to basically hole punch a circle out of this. If you have any questions, let me know about that. But I'm going to go print these and then I'll show you how to go from there. I should also mention too, because I'm going to be using that hole punch, I don't necessarily want to load this into my cutter to cut it, so I make sure to turn off bleed. Doesn't always work for everyone. If you prefer to cut, then you're welcome to, but because I'm using the hole punch, that's what I do. And then I send it to printer. Make sure the shiny side is down depending on your printer, because mine just kind of comes from the top, or from below up to the top, and then it will print on the top of it. So okay, now it's time to seal it. If you put it right in water, your ink would just, you know, throw itself right off there, so you have to seal it. I went and bought this stuff, this 2x ultra coverage matte clear. I really like it. I bought some other sealer. I didn't love that a whole lot. It left like a line around all my stuff, and this really kind of puts it right down. You put 3 layers on this between 15 and 30 minutes apart. Just to make sure that it's got a good seal and the ink won't dissipate when it gets in the water. Put a piece of paper down so that maybe I could use this paper again, since I only used a little strip at the top. I'll try my best to do a video while doing this, just so you can see. You don't really fill it a whole lot, you just kind of lightly do like a number like that, and then let that air dry. 30 minutes or so I'll come do another coat, and then 30 minutes after that I'll do another coat, and then it will be ready to punch and drop in water, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm going to do a second coat. That's it. Do that one more time and then we'll punch them. Okay, so my stuff is dry. I've coated it 3 times and I was ready to hole punch. So what I did is I cut the top of the paper down so that I could get my hole punch up. Sorry, I'm going to try to do this one-handed on the video. It's really, really hard. Alright, so get your hole punch in there where you want it. And, you know, kind of make sure it's exactly where you want it. Oh, there. And once it's in that spot position that you want, just go ahead and squeeze, and that pops out. So there is my white water slide that I'm going to put on my black holder. And then I also just, because I can do this, this is a clear water slide, I'm going to put it on my glitter holster, just so that you can see what that will look like too. Okay, and I'm just going to first and foremost apologize. I'm doing this one-handed. I thought my daughter would be home to help me, but she's not. So this is a clear water slide. I'm going to put it on this already done glitter holster, and just so you can get an idea to see what the glitter or the clear will do. Make sure that you submerge this into water, just so that you can get it kind of completely soiled before you start transferring. And then I'm going to, at this point, because it only takes a second, I'm going to submerge my white one in there. Check your one that you're going to do. Don't like push it a lot. When you just barely touch it, if it slides off the back of the paper, then it's ready. Don't force it, otherwise you'll crack it. And it only takes about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and it's already starting to move. Alright, so then, see if I can find a way to set this up a little bit. Sorry again about the quality. Not sure. Alright, so then you just basically take that and you put it where you want it, and you grab the back of that paper and you move it off the side. And because this is a clear water slide, and I believe this is one of the ones I accidentally sprayed a little bit of white spray paint on, it doesn't really show up great on the glitter. Yeah, I'm not going to even keep that on there. See, this is basically one that if it wasn't sprayed with white spray paint, it would look a lot better, but I did that. And you can see it's already starting to crack. It's not a good one. Not my best work. So this one's definitely ready. It's already starting to peel up. Hopefully I didn't leave it on there too long. And this is a white one. And it's already peeling up, so I'm sure it's already ruined. You can put it on like that, and you can move it around how you like. Don't do what I do. This is the lesson right here. Yeah, I let it sit too long and it curled up. You can try to smooth these out. I'm sorry. Just take both your fingers, I'm not even sure if you can see, and just kind of smooth it out. That didn't turn out awful as I thought. It's still kind of curled up on the side, so I probably won't leave this on there. You smooth out the bubbles and any wrinkles that are in it. See, let's dry it off so you can see it better. See, yeah, it's not perfect. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's a little bit off center, but it's okay. Yeah. So that's not bad at all. Now I'm going to let this dry and then we'll do the resin. Another way you can speed up dry time is to put it underneath the light while it's, after you just apply the water slide. There's nothing on this right now. It's just letting it kind of dry out a little faster. Okay, so we let this dry for a few minutes under the light, and now it's time to apply the UV resin. If you don't have a light, the instructions say 15 to 20 minutes in the sunlight will cure it as well. So don't worry, you don't have to have this type of equipment. And I have used on my chunky glitters, I found that the regular epoxy worked tremendously better than this did. So regular epoxy works just as good too. So don't feel like you have to have this UV light stuff, but it is nice. Normally I put a little dab in the center, kind of smooth it out with an old marker that doesn't work anymore, or like a nail pen thing. But for the purposes of the video, it was easier to do this than it would have been trying to smooth it out and show you guys, since I'm one-handed. And yeah. So you just get on the sides a little bit, just to make sure that it's sealed in there nice and good. There's no bubbles. And then that's it. Alright, so once I set this in the light, this immediately gets cured. So that will be cured in just a second. Okay, now let's set this under the light and let it do its magic. Might set off a little bit of smoke. It's normal, it's just the UV clearing. Alexa, set a timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, starting now.
Okay, 4 minutes went by, and what I've learned is it's hard to do it one-handed. And if you let it soak too long, I think you get too many bubbles. See, that's what it is all around that wall. It still doesn't look bad, but I'm not loving the quality. I'll make my daughter have this or something. But it's completely sealed. It's not tacky. It's completely, like, perfect otherwise. And that's what you get. Pop socket done.